Okay, and we're ready to start and ready to rock and roll. Um, okay, well, hello everyone. Welcome to the podcast, the Randomest podcast. I think this is gonna be. I don't know what episode this is gonna be actually. Maybe four, maybe five. Who knows? Depends on what I want to release at a given time. But anyways, good to be here. I have a script. Well, not wait. What am I saying? I don't have a script. The fudge. I don't have a script. I have rather actually a topic in mind. For once, I don't know how I'll go about it. In fact, I don't even. Goodness gracious, I don't even know where to start with this because it spans like such a long, like, distance of time and space. I'm just trying to remember where I didn't even say what the topic was. Goodness gracious. Oh, also, before I actually even get into that, There's gonna be a moment, where I walk away to get my boba and my food because I ordered boba and food for dinner because I'm too lazy to order real food or too lazy to make my own food rather. And I'm like, boba sounds good, and I could eat whatever BS they sell there as well. So I don't even know where I ordered from. This is a random like boba place that I found on Uber Eats. So you know what? Why not? Why not indeed? So I'm gonna do that, and that's gonna be fun. But my main point is that today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. No, I wish. I wish I was sponsored. That way I can make money off of it. But part of me wishes I was sponsored. Another part of me is like, well, I mean, I'm not planning for this to make it big at all ever, so it doesn't really matter to me at the end of the day. But it would be nice to have like a little like extra cash in my pocket. Spend it on the people I love, like a billionaire. I was trying to sing the part of the song where it's like, and not a single time around me, blah 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 blah. Oh, what hungry was, eating good, sleeping soundly. Yeah, that one. Anyways, what am I even talking about? Oh yeah, back to the original topic. It's been like like a minute and a half since I started, and I haven't even said the topic. Basically, I wanted to talk about my light-hearted obsessions with with a few of like my hobbies and whatnot. So basically, to explain kind of a bit more elaborately, I've had. That was my bad. I'm sorry. That wasn't a fart. That was me moving a chair. I've had a lot. I have a lot of like hobbies. Growing up, and even like especially more so now. Now that I have like money to like to pursue the stuff I wanted to pursue when I was younger. But I've had like so many like obsessions with some of these hobbies. Like sometimes it wasn't too serious. I usually quit like after um after maybe 2 weeks or a month. I'm like, okay, I'm done with this hobby, I'm gonna move on to the next thing. But like now I actually have like a hobby, like I actually have hobbies that like lasted for a really long time and like would really affect me. I think a great example to start off with actually would probably be like an obsession that like I could really like talk about is like back in the day, like way back when I was way younger, is video games. And even now, like I still play a lot of video games. I wouldn't say like I have like a super big obsession with any of them anymore, but I did have like I put a lot of hours in a lot of them, and I think sometimes it was much to my own detriment. Like I should be doing something. For example, one obsession that has basically like grown up, that I've been on and off with for like a good like almost a decade now, I say, was Minecraft. Like, oh my gosh, you cannot get me to stop playing Minecraft. I say this because I recently got back into Minecraft, and actually I renewed my realms subscription. So now I'm inviting a bunch of my friends back to play Minecraft with me. It's been a blast. I'm playing Skyblock right now, and and it's an interesting Skyblock because it's updated for like the most recent version, which means that there's a lot of like new stuff there. There's more islands, especially Nether. I think Nether Skyblock used to have just the one island, and then like the idea in the original Skyblock was like, oh, you would make like, you would expand it so that there'd be like mobs would spawn at some point, so you could like farm them. And that was when zombie pigmen were still in the game, but now that has been replaced with piglins and zombie piglins. It's a bit more complicated because they could open doors, and they're just a little smarter than the zombie pigmen, which feels bad. But well, now in this new Skyblock, there's like four other islands with different things, like different biomes. And another thing is that there's also not only a thing, but there's also a freaking frick. What do you call that? There's also the oh my gosh, what was I saying? Oh, the end. I totally spaced out for a second, but yeah, now the end is also available to enter, which I haven't seen any of. So that's going to be a pleasant surprise when I go there and find out that you can indeed fight the Ender Dragon. But we'll see. I mean, there's diamond stuff. There's diamonds you could find. So I imagine I'm going to be saving the diamond stuff for like the battle. Or maybe, yeah, that's at least that's the plan and the idea at least, but we'll see where it goes. But anyways, yeah, so I'm like, I built my mob spawner. I have a farm. I got to, in the main dimension, I got to the village island, which is super small, and I've isolated all of the mobs and kind of taking it down piece by piece just so that I could get all of the resources from there. And then I'm going to like kind of make it like much more simpler when I build it back in. But anyways, yeah, and then right now I'm also like making the farm for all of the farm animals to come in. And yeah, I don't know, it's just been a super fun blast to get back into Minecraft, especially Skyblock, because I've done like 2 Skyblock challenges but never really finished it in its entirety. So I'm really looking forward to get into that. But back to the main topic at hand. I had a very big obsession with Minecraft, especially when I was like in middle school, or like, yeah, middle school. I had like this huge like thing for like early Minecraft YouTubers, like Sky Does Minecraft. Obviously that was one of the bigger ones, but there was also Minecraft Universe, Trumu, and I think I also watched a bit of Deadlocks now. And then I actually looked up Deadlocks like recently, and he's like a Fortnite streamer or Fortnite like YouTuber, which I'm like, okay, this is weird, because not to crap on Fortnite YouTubers or Fortnite like just content creators. It's just kind of cringe a little bit, but I mean, you know what? They have an audience and those people enjoy it. I think that's totally okay. I can't find myself watching that, unfortunately. But I love watching Deadlocks. Yeah, Chumu, Husky Mudkips, Bajan. No, I never watched Bajan Canadian, but I did watch ASF Jerome a little bit. I watched Jerome, the fluffy bucker is what they call him. And I have like a recent like resurgence, I think, in me watching those old videos. Like I've been watching a lot of specifically Sky Does Minecraft, because I feel like his videos it encapsulates like the like original like Team Crafted people and like just Minecraft YouTubers in general. I thought it was a great time watching his old videos recently, and also like a lot of nostalgia. I think the cool thing is that now that I like I have more responsibilities, I have a job now, like I could really like take my time with Minecraft rather than like go through it like 48 hours like at one given time, you know. I feel like I'm much more calm, like giving it a chance, and it's been a really good time. I think overall it's been like a net positive and healthy, unlike before. Like it's very healthy compared to before. There's a lot of other there's like a few other, not a lot, but like a few other video games I could like kind of name right now off the top of my head that I've had like slight obsessions with. I think Valorant is a good one to talk about because Valorant, I'm totally super not on it, but I will play it occasionally. In fact, I kind of want to play it tonight, so I'll probably do that like later. But anyways, Valorant, man, goodness gracious, when Valorant first came out, and I had my own account in beta, I think I spent like a significant amount of time playing that game. And something about me is I don't really play games in competitive. Like I don't play it at comp formats, mostly because I don't like taking games seriously to the point where it's like I get frustrated or mad because I feel like I guess personally I feel like a video game is like a way to escape frustrations and anger and stuff like that. So having anger and frustrations in a video game kind of defeats the point, at least for me. I don't know. Some people like consider video games like their entire lives, so can't really say anything about them. But me personally, I don't like taking video games too seriously. But I do have obsessions with them, and Valorant was one of those games where it's like I actually super considered like getting really into competitive. Thankfully I didn't. I kind of saved my butt because I only went competitive when I was like in a group of people. Definitely didn't solo queue. Like I think maybe once or twice I did, but like other than that, every time I went to competitive, it was with someone else. I got a rank one season, and that's like the last time I ever got like an official rank. In terms of that game, and I also got obsessed with buying skins and stuff. Like I vowed to myself, I'm not gonna buy these skins. These aren't worth it. And then eventually I bought one, and then I couldn't stop buying. So I spent a hefty amount of time and money on that game until I finally dropped off of it when I started working at my current job. It's actually been an entire year since I've been working at my current job. I've been having a blast with it. It's very stressful, but still fun at the same time. So, but I did still play Valorant a lot during that time. But like, I feel like recently, with more responsibilities opening up, I don't really play the game very often. But I did have low key, high key obsession with it. Much to my detriment. And I think the last video game, like I could talk about that I've had high key obsession with, was Super Mario 6. Ooh, wait, no, there's two more. Let's talk about Super Mario 64 first, because that comes first chronologically before I got into the other game. So Super Mario 64 is probably one of my favorite games of all time. And it's funny because I think I've only ever 100% the game once. The reason why that game is one of my favorites is because I dedicated myself to 16-star speedruns for a good chunk of like my time in high school. I dedicated myself to doing like 16-star runs, which I never got really good at. In fact, I don't even think I got under 20 minutes, which was my main goal before I officially said I'm going to be done with this. But yeah, I never got under 20 minutes with the 16-star run, which is unfortunate. But you know what? It's not. I'm glad I kind of stopped doing that because I think I'm above average when it comes to video games, but I'm definitely not like exceeding expectations. I think if I had to give myself a grade in playing video games, I'd give myself like a C plus, B minus. But like, there's a lot of A plus and S plus. Wait, S is not a grade. S ranked like students out there who like are super good at video games. I am not one of them. I am pretty good, and then I'm pretty good, but I think that's about it. I'm only pretty good at it. But back to the fact at hand. I really loved speedrunning Super Mario 64. Just learning the 16-star route. I'm not even talking about the advanced 16-star route. I'm talking about like the beginner 16-star route. Like, you start off with Bomb on Battlefield, you get 1 star there, and then you go over to Whomp's Fortress, you get 5 stars there, you get 3 stars in cool I'm about to call it Snow Mountain. Cool Mountain. You get 3 stars from there, and then you go you do Bowser in the Dark World, beat him, and then you go down, and then you get well, you know, it depends on what I do. I usually get 2 stars in Lethal Lava Land, 1 star in Shifting Sand Land. What do you get in in Lethal Lava Land, what did I get? It was the red coin star and then the big bully star, and then in Shifting Sandland, I always got top of the pyramid star. Recently, when I actually sped run the game, I actually went for the first star, the Clipto. Clipto, I think that's the name. The bird. I usually get the bird star, but I'm super inconsistent with the strategy on that, so I usually don't go for it. But if I do go for it and I manage to get it like first try, I usually only get one star in Lethal Lava Land, which is red coins, because I feel like it's faster than the bully star. But then afterwards, I have what, like 11 at that point. So then I get one star. I get one star in the septic system. What am I talking about? The place where you get metal cap. Oh my gosh, I am blanking out on the name of this world. Probably because it's like I didn't care. Oh, Hazy Maze Cave. I usually get one star in Hazy Maze Cave first, then you get the Toad star for 13, and then go back and you get the Dory star for 14, and then you go for, depending on what you got the first star, you get the 15 star of Watch the Rolling Rocks. I believe that's usually the last one to go for. And then you got MIPS, you do MIP skip, and then you just follow the path from there. And that's usually, and from there it's like it's practically the same as the super fast 16 star route. But yeah, cause sorry, I'm going on a tangent about the 16 star run. When that's not really my wait, did my order come? Oh no, they're still preparing it. Okay, so yeah, I usually don't. The fast route, I believe, is to actually do a lobby BLJ to get to Bowser in Dark World. Then you do reds, and then you get the key, and then from there, I don't really know the route. But I know they do advanced strats that I definitely, if I put my time and like my mind into it, I could probably do it. But I don't have the interest nowadays. But yeah, I think my fastest time was like about 22 minutes with that speed run. But yeah, that was like one of my biggest obsessions back in the day too. And well, now that's kind of over. And that was like this, and I believe when it comes to video games, the last one I did want to talk about was Super Smash Brothers Melee. Oh, actually, you know what? There's more than one. It's Super Smash Bros. Melee and Rivals of Aether. Like, I'll be the first to say I am pretty terrible at fighting games. Okay, like especially traditional fighting games. Like I'm pretty bad at it. I enjoy Skullgirls a lot, but I enjoy it as much as a casual person would enjoy Melee or Skullgirls. But Melee and Rivals of Aether, I felt like I was invincible in those games, mostly because it didn't require any like super extensive inputs or like to do like combos and whatnot. It really was a matter of like you have to press this button at this time, and then if you keep a combo, and then hey, you're pretty cool. But it's still those games are super complex, even though like it's literally like this button does this button does that kind of thing. Like combos are much more creative and less formulaic, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really enjoyed Rivals of Aether and Melee. I wish I had a tracker of how much time I spent on either of those games. I know Rivals of Aether I spent like at least a couple thousand, but Melee too, I spent like a good chunk of my time, especially once Slippy mod came out. Like I was super into it, and I would play all the time. But yeah, that was those were the two games I was super into. I think that was like probably the latest like obsession that really affected my health and me doing anything else in life. But luckily I don't do video games as often as I used to, which is good because I think it's much more healthier than it was before. Everything in moderation. And that being said, I there's a lot of other obsessions that I have that it wasn't really it didn't really affect me. Like, it made me like not want to do anything else. Sometimes it was, but it didn't. But it did make me want to spend a lot of money more than anything else. For example, I spent a lot of time bowling, like sports bowling. I spent a lot of money in sports bowling. Oh my gosh. I was in a bowling league for a while. Like, I think like before pandemic I was there for like 2 years, and after pandemic I did like half a year. I did have to stop recently though because my schedule wouldn't allow me to go bowling anymore, unfortunately. But I did enjoy it during the time, and it kind of feels bad. I spent so much time practicing, getting better when it came to bowling. I did a lot of studying. I studied like professional bowlers, their stances. I looked up videos because I'm a two-hander bowler, so I use of course, as it says, two hands, which is unorthodox. It used to be like pretty controversial, but nowadays it's like widely accepted, especially with the popularity of professional bowlers like Jason Belmonte or Simonson. I forgot his first name. But yeah, Osku Palermo. Anyways, besides the point, on professional bowlers, but I had a mighty obsession with that, and I would actually go out of my way just to go bowling instead of going to work. It was a really bad until I really stopped myself, but in all fairness, I did actually get really good at bowling. I think before the pandemic, I was averaging like 200, like 210 or something like that. Afterwards though, I really did drop off. And after pandemic, when I did join a bowling league again, because I was super excited to get back into it, I didn't have as much fun as I thought I would be having, mostly because I just had more responsibility. I couldn't put all my time into it. But I remember going 3 times a week to the bowling alley just to bowl, and having just a blast, honestly. But yeah, it was great. I had fun. Yeah, good old days. I don't know. I kind of miss it. Because bowling was kind of one of those things that that kind of cleared my mind. I could get away from people. Of course, the thing about bowling is too, I got super frustrated with it. So when I did get frustrated, I did stop bowling for maybe a week or 3 to 4 weeks, and I get back into it and have a lot of fun. But nowadays I can't even try to start up bowling again, which is unfortunate because it's one of my favorite hobbies. But yeah, that was just one of the many things I used to do. Going into other things that I love doing that wasn't video game related, that really affected me. You know what? I can't think. It's hard to think of anything. Oh my gosh. Well, I wouldn't call it an obsession, but photography definitely took a chunk of my wallet out of me. And I didn't get into it until I got my more stable job that paid me well. But I still spent, I spent I think photography or just cameras in general, I spent so much money on, and I wouldn't even regret it. I wouldn't regret it at all. I get a new lens and it cost me $600 to almost $1,000, and I'm this was a well worth thing to spend on. And oh man, that was very unhealthy. Geez Louise. The worst part, that was recent. That was just this year actually. When I'm and finally when I finally looked at all the things I had, I'm I am a casual photographer at best. I really shouldn't have bought all this stuff. I'm trying not to regret it, but I don't even have time to do it that often. So the regret kind of creeps up on me a little bit, over my shoulders. Hey, You spent $5,000 on all these things, $5,000 and more. You could have spent that on your family or your survival, but you spent it on cameras. You're the worst. Like that kind of like goes to the back of my head. And I feel a little guilty, just a little, but not too much. Because I do use it, and I think it's really useful. And it's still something I want to invest in. Not money-wise, but time-wise, But at this moment, I don't think the amount of money I spent on it can justify how much I've used it, at least for now. Definitely in the future, I think I'm gonna enjoy it a lot more. But yeah, I think, oh man, cameras I spent so much time on. I really shouldn't have. And that's my regret talking. I need to stop that. But yeah, I think off the top of my head, I could think of those. I'm kind of looking, and I think you know what? Honestly, I think I've talked about a lot of these things already before in a previous podcast, like my hobbies and stuff like that. But like going into more depth with them is like having me really enjoy really shows like how much like I've done so far in life. Because usually when I think about it, I'm like, oh, I haven't really done much in life. After high school, I'm like, I got a few jobs and that's about it. But when you go into like the more minute details, like, oh, you didn't just work that entire time. You also invested your time in this or invested your time in that. And maybe you don't do it anymore, but at the time you had a lot of fun with it, and that should be worth it. I think, yeah, I did have a lot of fun with all those things, and I'm really glad I'm out of that sort of obsessive side so far. I mean, honestly, there are still some times when I do look at things and like I do, and like I have to restrain myself from getting it because I'm like, I don't need it. Like I'm super like, I want to spend money. Like I want to spend on this. I want to spend on that. Like that's one thing I really need to stop doing. I think that's it's become a problem, especially when I started working. It's like I could be saving this money or investing it somewhere, but instead of spending it. And even though I'm like, like forwarding the economy, I'm not really doing anything else besides that. What I'm saying is I really should spend less money, and spending on I think the most money I've been spending is on food. I should honestly look at my finances and kind of think, maybe you shouldn't be ordering food every day. Maybe you should invest in like making food for yourself. I don't know. I feel a little stupid, but besides that, I'm having a lot of fun. That being said, I think that's all I really wanted to talk about today, unless I could figure out something else to talk about. This is gonna be a time when I look up some stuff, and cause it's only been less than a half hour since I started talking, so I'm gonna look up what I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about possibly my biggest obsession. Like something that actually takes up my time and actually affects me. YouTube. YouTube has, I don't know. Goodness gracious, where do I even start with YouTube? It's hard to talk about it because it's something I don't really consider as an obsession, but thinking about it more and more, it definitely is. Like, I could confidently say I spend at least half my day on YouTube. Like, I can't stop. I literally, it's the only page that opens up when I like open up like Microsoft Edge. Like, YouTube is the first thing that pops up, and I just get like so wrapped up in like these videos from different creators. And like right now I'm like super obsessed with watching like Marvel like theory videos. Like that's been a recent obsession. Marvel theory videos, Star Wars what if scenarios. Oh wait, that's another thing. Totally random, totally off topic. I just finished watching all the Star Wars Visions episodes, and man, that was a good time. Oh my gosh, had so much fun with them. Man, studio, just all these people like Trigger. Actually, like even studios that I didn't even like think about, like Science Saru, like the people who made Devilman Crybaby and Ping Pong the animation, also made the TOBI episode. Like, oh my gosh, that was an amazing episode, amazingly animated. The Trigger episode where the twins also was really cool, and the other Trigger episode was pretty alright too. Very straightforward, a lot less other stuff, but man, that was a great experience. Really great characters, really great stories. Anyway, back to the matter I had. I have been super obsessed with like absorbing media into my eyes. Like when I'm bored, I will go on YouTube Shorts. I'm basically going on TikTok at that point. That's basically all I've been doing. And oh my gosh, it's been an obsession for like I have like over a decade at this point. Like I grew up on YouTube. I grew up watching YouTube, and this actually does affect like me doing other things. Like I feel like if I like took all the hours I spent on YouTube to do something else, I could have done something else. But no, I've spent so much time. And you know what? I think that's I will say I'm a byproduct of my generation. I think. Well, I definitely am. Like, I'm not even like thinking about it. Like, I really am. You know, I grew up watching YouTube. I grew up and I still watch YouTube. Like, I had my YouTube account for many years. At this point, you know, like this YouTube channel that I post these podcasts on. I've been like on this account for like over a decade now, and that might not be just like as like those might be like rookie numbers, but for me that's like half my life has just been on YouTube, and I can't really think if that's a good or if that's a bad thing. Like part of me wants to say, yeah, loser, you've been on YouTube for so long, you're like, oh, that's all you do, like go outside, like touch grass, you know. But another part of me is like I have been part of so many communities. I've listened to so many stories. I've seen so many things that like really basically raised me and like kind of taught me who I am today. And there was a lot of bad parts to it. There was a lot of parts where like I got influenced by the wrong people, but there was also parts where I'm like, wow, I did learn a lot from this. Like I learned science, I learned mathematics, I learned history, English. I spent so much time on YouTube. It's kind of hard to believe. Like thinking that YouTube would be gone from my life is like, it's such like a weird thought. It's like I'm always on YouTube. I'm always like absorbing content. Oh, I don't know. It's strange, and honestly, that's kind of scary, isn't it? Like something that's been in your life for so long, but you know you don't really care for it. You know, like I know YouTube is just some corporation, just some company like taking my money every month when I pay for their premium, or like adding to fuel to the fire. I know it's a bad thing, but like I'm just a part of it, and I can't imagine myself without it. I think that's a terrible thing, honestly. And I can take a break from it, but like at the same time, I could also just play something in the background while I do something else. I literally play YouTube in the background while I'm doing something else. It's insane. Like when I'm playing Minecraft, when I was playing Valorant, when I was playing Rivals, when I'm playing Melee, when I was bowling, when I was speed cubing, when I was doing all my hobbies, I always had YouTube in the background. This is kind of like a realization for me, honestly. Like this is like an honest moment where like, holy crap, I've always been on YouTube, no matter what, for like a good portion of my life. Even now, I'm talking and like I have YouTube up and I'm looking at like all the videos on my recommended. This is insane. This is like the definition of insanity. Oh my gosh. You know, one of these days, I'm gonna go off the grid and I'm not gonna have YouTube, and it's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me because this is the true addiction is YouTube. I think like I talked about obsessions and stuff like that, but this is like, now that I think about it, this is really like a real addiction is YouTube. And what's the worst part is, even though I realize it, I'm still gonna go back to it. It's like, because that's all I've known. Oh my gosh, what have I, what have I turned to? I have so many like, I was gonna say I'm gonna have so many mental disorders growing up, but I think YouTube gave me all these mental disorders. And that's not me downplaying like mental disorders. That's me being 100% serious. Like I think this has caused me like a lot of issues. Like, sure, I've learned a lot, but I've learned from watching a screen my entire life. Oh man, you know what? I hope if I ever have kids, I hope I never put them through this, because I feel like they should learn more practical skills. But oh man. Whew. Whoa, I didn't mean to get like weird or like existential with this. I just want to talk about like some fun stuff, but like, oh, it just popped in my brain that this is my obsession. Like, YouTube is my obsession. Like the true obsession that's been with me my entire life. It's not bad. It's not entirely bad, but I wouldn't say it's like a net good either. Oh, this is something I have to think about. Anyways, now that I ended off on like a really weird note, I think we're gonna go. I'm gonna enjoy my food. That should be coming in a few minutes. But man, I have a lot to think about until the next podcast. Maybe got to reevaluate my life about what I've been doing, and really think about like, is this really affecting me in a negative way or in a positive way? I think we'll see. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this one. I know I know it got a little weird at the end there, and I apologize. But that's just what popped into my head, and I really need to think about. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, please stick around for more stuff like this. If you guys didn't enjoy it, I'm sorry. I hope you find something else to brighten your day. Regardless, I will see you guys later. Have a good one.